What one dream? Something about that. I'm
A
excited to
dream
see.
and god of Peruvians. Oh wait, I mean squad gods, squad Peruvians, 2 squads and god Peruvians. I think that's what we've got.
Yeah, 100%. Look at this. Yo, the bird trainer himself banning out a Talonflame first go round. Not something you typically see banned. So these teams, it seems like they're very familiar with each other. So maybe doing a little bit of target bannings here.
Yeah, I almost saw the Zorok band was being hovered there for a second. I was like, why are we doing the double speedster bans? But no, we are actually doing double speedster bans. Scyther getting banned out from the side of God Squad, so there's some speedster players over here, and some players on both sides are kind of scared of what they have to offer. It does mean Cerulege is able to be picked up in the first slot there. Gives God Squad the opportunity to counter back with 2 picks of their own.
Yeah, we'll see how they're gonna line this up. Immediately, they're gonna lock in that Charizard, so looking to burninate the countryside. And then a great pick there for their defender, that lockdown tank of Slowbro.
Not surprised to see Slowbro coming out early. I mean, especially in the last set, that was basically the game-winning Unite move right there. So Slowbro, really, really strong. And that also means, though, Umbreon goes over to Ducky on the side of 2 Peruvians, as well as the Zacians. So a former EX Pokemon slotting in as the second all-rounder of that squad.
Yeah, we might even lock in a second potential former EX, and they do. 2 Peruvians, 2 former EXs, and then they're going to add on that Blissey. So that Blissful Assistance has plenty of prime targets to lock onto in those team fights.
Ooh, we could see another all-rounder pick. Looks like that's what we are going to be seeing from God Squad. They're going to lock in that Mimikyu, which I think Mimikyu is really strong, but I think they're just going to really have to be hitting those Shadow Sneaks. There's a lot of unstoppable and damage avoidance on 2 Peruvians, so that's going to be a little bit difficult for Mimikyu, but Zealot is confident in their Mimikyu play. They're a really strong Mimikyu player, so I think they got it. I'm not them, so go off, kid.
I am also not them. I've played Mimikyu a total of, I think, like 3 times. It's the skill shots on Shadow Sneak are surprisingly difficult to hit, especially if you need to time it properly and then utilize the bushes. So we're going to see if they're able to hit those, especially on some very mobile targets like that Seru. Zacian also relatively mobile, especially. I imagine we're going to see that go in that top path. That's kind of what we've seen out of that newly removed EX license. Seru likely going into the jungle, but either way you cut it, Cerulege is still very strong.
Cerulege is still so broken. They gave it like the little like boop, like just little bit of a nerf. Just everyone shut up, stop talking about it. Here's a tiny little nerf for you. But what I'm excited to see is this Gardevoir, because there's a lot of dive over on that opposite side. With the Zacian, it can really dive in strong. With the Cerulege, with the Miraidon, I feel like there's going to be a lot of dive opportunities, and the Gardevoir is going to have to stay protected and do the best they can as we get into our game number 1 of this winter semifinals, Kyle.
Yeah, here we go. Gardevoir is going to be going down to that bottom path. We have Slowbro maybe monitoring the situation, seeing if there's going to be any invade from 2 Peruvians. There's nothing to happen down there. Instead, some stacks going in early for 2 Peruvians.
See, trying to take that one, but unable to do it. But Zacian having to make sure they get as much Eos energy as possible, because with Zacian's move mechanics, you need Eos energy to make sure that the moves can be powered up. It does pick up a KO there in that top path, so already off to a great start.
Yeah, definitely great start. Looking at Mimikyu looking to maybe be a little sneaky in this tall grass, hiding from 2 Peruvians. But, I mean, that's a very experienced team, so they're going to know that there's something up, and it's going to be this Mimikyu for these 850 birds.
They're about to spawn. The Mimikyu's getting ready. Cerulege hiding in the bush. Zacian's ready. They're going to be able to power up their moves. They do jump away, popping Mimikyu's passive as these birds come up, and they are obliterated immediately. Zacian continuing to move in onto this tier 1 pack, Kyle.
Yeah, now they have the red buff and the blue buff to boot. They're going to try to get some of these points in. Points are going in for two Peruvians, and Sarah getting stacked up. Charmander does walk in and steal one of the bits of Eos energy, and pretty nice play there, but they might have walked a little bit too far forward. Eldegoss using that A button, Charmander getting a berry, and that's going to allow God Squad to sustain that fight.
Gardevoir is playing Future Sight, I believe that's what I just saw. They do take down the Umbreon, unless I'm mistaken. No, it is Future Sight. That is taken away by the Miraidon. They're running the Charge Beam, so they're going to be playing that more of a mage-style backliner build for the Miraidon, as they do have the 8-minute birds coming up, seeming to be uncontested by God Squad.
Yeah, God Squad didn't really want to walk right into that fight. They need some levels right now, especially level 7 Miraidon, level 7 Zacian. Look at those charge beams, just full send on this bottom tier 1 pad. We're going to get some points in. Shadow Sneak did not connect onto the Miraidon. Now Sarah is going to slice the competition, slice those gods down, and points are just raining in, Husky.
There was not level 7 on that Mimikyu just yet, but now that they have the Shadow Sneak, they might be able to make something happen. They're moving in onto the Blissey. They're very low. The Miraidon has another Charge Beam charged up, and they're able to just take down that Mimikyu. The Ceruledge also following down there to grab that Eldegoss. Luckily, the Gardevoir is able to make it out alive, but that was a really devastating play for that Mimikyu.
Yeah, devastating play indeed. Charmeleon gonna try to evolve into the big dragon that is Charizard. Now two Peruvians in Dream gonna try to zone out God Squad. They're gonna start hitting this Regirock. We're gonna start to see Blissey maybe start a front line, but great job by Ducky stalling out the time. And two Peruvians in a Dream, they take it, they put that Regirock in their handbag.
There comes the Mimikyu jumping in with a double KO streak, and both teams are just gonna have to back up. Both teams now are trying to figure out where they're going to go next. Look at the Regieleki health getting very low. It's going to be leashing while Zacian chases the Charizard down. And I feel like this is the strength of the two Peruvians comp. They have these strong early game Pokemon, and the Gardevoir for God Squad is not yet level 9. They're just about to tick into it, so they finally have their Unite move.
Yeah, Unite move is obtained, but it's gonna be a little bit far away. Play With Me now goes on to the Zacian. Zacian going down, and wow, somehow out of nowhere, Blissey with a huge Egg Bomb steals that away from God Squad. You thought for sure they were gonna be able to secure that Lecky.
The Blissey was able to take it, and I never doubt a Blissey secure. They did try to use their Unite move there, but it didn't go off, it doesn't seem like. I thought for a second I saw the Blissey Unite move, but no matter. The Regieleki walks in anyway. Ceruledge just gonna kind of wait there. They're gonna have to beat the Gardevoir, just kind of chilling, given as much time as possible for the back Indeedee to spawn in that top path. They don't want God Squad to have a ton of time to farm those. The bottom path, though, the Slowbro just by themselves trying to defend. There hasn't been much for Slowbro to do right now. They have to make sure that this goal zone does not get taken down until the rest of the team is available. Now, I feel like God Squad could try to go for a push here, but they are behind on levels, and it might be pretty difficult for them to get in onto that Tier 1 pad, especially with an Umbreon, but they do have 5 members down waiting for this basement Reggie to spawn.
Yeah, two Peruvians in a Dream just trying to grab some vision in that top pass. Sarah has no idea where God Squad is. God Squad is kind of waiting in the wings, hiding in these tall grass, waiting for this basement Reggie to spawn. It is going to be a Reg Ice. And look at Ducky looking to engage with that Umbreon. They're trying to get to the Slowbro, but a Future Sight does fall land. And we have now it's just getting full ripped, and Miraidon gets it with the Charge Beam to Charizard. Now going to pop their Unite move, burninating the city with that Seismic Slam. And members of two Peruvians in a Dream are falling like dominoes right here in this bot path.
The Gardevoir was able to get out of the Revenant Ren, but they were not able to escape the Charge Beam. Ceruledge still with the Bliss Assistance is able to pick up more KOs, but they do end up... No, they don't go down! I thought they did go down, but they're able to get the Revenant Ren back out! A 2 KO for them! And now two Peruvians, even though they lost 2 early in that fight, are able to come back and jump in onto this Tier 1 gold pad. They're able to break it, and they're going to have to now back up. It is 2-10-0 right now, Kai.
Holy yo, with the Uno reverse card of all time in that bot path. I mean, I think he fooled everybody and their moms in chat, because I know for sure I was ready to just say that they were going down, but holy cow, 210-0 here at the 3.5 minute mark. God Squad gonna start lining up for this top Regieleki. Eldegoss going to try to keep this Gardevoir healthy, but two Peruvians in a dream, they're just going to start marching their way towards this top as well. Regieleki getting down to half. Big Future Sight falls, lands on the Miraida. Here comes a Fairy Singularity, takes out Zacian. Zacian was not able to utilize their Unite move. Charizard takes to the skies. They're going to help get them the Gardevoir KO streak of 2, and now Charizard's going to move in on this Miraidon. Big Surfs up, Cowabummer. Slowbro putting in the work, knocking up the team, and two Peruvians in a dream gonna try to defend this tier 1.
They're gonna push in a little bit harder, look for Umbreon, but Zacian is now back. They're gonna be able to try to dive in and prevent this push from happening. Still 0 points, even with such a huge mistake from Zacian diving in there. Two Peruvians in a dream is able to make up for it and keep the score at 0 for God Squad. Even though they did pick up some really substantial KOs right there, it's going to come down to the Ray fight.
Absolutely, and look at this. Saraledge gonna look to grab another basement Reggie. It is a Regirock, so for the next 90 seconds, once confirmed, if they're able to get it. But here comes Mimikyu, looking for a Shadow Sneak. They actually play rough the farm. They realize that probably weren't gonna get anywhere, but Gardevoir is caught out here, at least for the time being. Saraledge looking to try to dive on in. They're looking for the Eldegoss. Eldegoss gonna have to pop that X speed, get away. But here comes Saraledge once more for a big engage, but they're gonna Phantom Force on away. And they know, 210, we do have the Ray about to hit the map.
The Gardevoir, I feel like, is just getting caught in these out of position moments, and luckily their front line is just making sure that they don't go down. I feel like they got caught by the Umbreon and they should have gone down there, but they do not. It's gonna be up to God Squad to engage on this fight. They do get the Future Sight onto Umbreon, but it's not gonna be nearly enough damage just yet. They're moving up to the top while two Peruvians are circling around the bottom, and Zacian's up there looking for an engage. Look at the Thunder just chasing down that Gardevoir, doing about half of its HP right there. God Squad is gonna have to make the first move though, Kyle.
Yeah, God Squad does have to make the move. They're down by more than 2 full scores of 50 points, make it 100 with the double time. Gardevoir is frontlining, gets chased down by the Thunder Miraidon. Slowbro gonna surf on in, look to stun the team. But look at this engage. Wow, Zacian is able to pick up the Gardevoir without utilizing the Unite. This might be the time to strike for God Squad. We might see what they're gonna do. Slowbro still has the slow beam. They don't have the slow beam. They can't use it. Now 3 members down for God Squad, and now they're on their heels. Two Peruvians in a dream with 4 members down on God Squad might have the time to rip. Rayquaza is getting very low. Nobody on God Squad able to get this, and this might be a clean sheet for two Peruvians.
Look at that. Every single member of God Squad goes down, and a clean fight from two Peruvians. And once again, Kyle, it was that Gardevoir just caught out of position, and that really started the fight. The Slowbro used the slow beam on the bottom side. I don't know exactly who they hit with it. I think it was the Soroledge, because the Zacian was up there in the top side with Umbreon, and they were able to catch out that Gardevoir, and then that was the beginning of the end. And look, they're just still going to be moving right on in onto God Squad. They want more points. 10 seconds left, and that's going to spell it for God Squad. Game number 1 going over to two Peruvians in a dream.
Wow, yeah, another double KO for Zacian. And you know, they may not have the EX tag on them anymore, Husky. But there might be something to be said about keeping these things away from these games. We have 598 to what's that number there? Holy
it's one we don't
cow.
see often, I feel like, but that's a 0. I think that would be a 0.
I think
that's 0.
Yeah, I haven't seen that number. I haven't seen that number a whole lot.
It's one of those rare ones, I think. And those rare numbers. You know how math works, where like some numbers are just like rare numbers? It's like a Pokemon, like a shiny. This isn't funny. We can go back to talking about what we're doing. Let's talk about the game.
we can talk about the game. 108k damage from Burzy on that Miraidon, and he sus 58k on the Zacian, and yo, 66k from that Saraledge, and not just that, Husky, but it just seemed like every time that Hyo was gonna get KO'd, they just pull out a Phantom Force and disappear for a little bit.
Yeah, it was like the move cooldowns were just non-existent on that Pokemon. They, for some reason, I don't know why, for Hyo, the Phantom Force is on a lower cooldown than for other people, but it seems that that's the case. That Ceruledge was caught, I believe, one time, and that was the only time where it looked like God Squad might have a chance to get back into the game, and they were still not able to, because as soon as the Ceruledge went down, there was a backline Charge Beam Miraidon just shredding through every single member of the team. And that was really just clear from the beginning that two Peruvians had control of that game, and they made sure it stayed that way through the entirety of the Ray fight and beyond. Great game by them.
Yeah, I mean, we know what type of team this is. This is a team that has won tournament after tournament here on Pandicorn, all these different grassroots things. I mean, we kind of expected them to be, at least at this stage of the tournament, whether it's an underdunk or any of the things that we run, they're always near the top or at the top. But to do what they just did in the winners semis, putting up a goose egg on the opponent, that's
and this isn't the beginning of the tournament. This isn't winners round one where like seeding is weird and sometimes like really experienced teams get back. No. This is the winners semifinals. So it's just showing how strong two Peruvians in a dream is right now, and they have yet to lose a map. They have not lost a map this tournament. They have 2-0'd 2 rounds so far to get here, and they're clearly not stopping yet. But God Squad has put up some really strong rounds so far in the 3 rounds that they've played, and it would really be unfortunate to see them going down 2-0 with a shutout and not really getting to show what they're made of in this tournament. So I would really like to see them come back, rethink their strategy. And I mean, I said it at the very beginning, like the Mimikyu, I don't know about getting into, like, with the dive onto that team comp. I feel like they need to rethink a little bit, just settle back in, and try their best to make sure that they don't lose the early game as hard as they did.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the other thing, too. You see Mimikyu get utilized a lot as that speedster stopper.
Yeah.
But when you don't have an opponent playing a speedster, I mean, there's no Leafeon, no Absol, no Zera, Zoro, you know, it kind of it tends to struggle a little bit more. And I think that's kind of what we saw right there. And I'm still blown away by a 0. Like, there's not a single point in that game where God Squad was able to even find value on the map. They did find a couple KOs here and there, but they just couldn't find the value that they really needed, at least to keep them within arm's reach in these fights.
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult for them to come back in this second game. I feel like the morale is gonna be low, but they have to just settle back in, go for a really strong draft. They had a good plan in that last match, but I mean, I feel like the Mimikyu was just not the right pick, and the Gardevoir just kept being in those front lines trying to hit future sites, and I feel like that's the kind of tunnel vision you get if you're playing that Gardevoir. You want to make sure that you have enough range to make those future sites hit, and they did. They were hitting a lot of future sites, but they just kept getting caught out. So I feel like you have to play around those strong, heavy dive picks that two Peruvians has been pulling out, and we will see as we are getting into the draft for our game number 2, Kyle.
Yeah, game number 2. We'll see what God Squad can cook up in this draft. Definitely going to have to find a way to stop those former EX Pokemon. And two Peruvians, I mean, they're turning it on. They're turning on the gas right at the end of this tournament. And if they're kind of looking to aim for these former EX Pokemon, I'm terrified to see what they're able to do the rest of this match. But we're gonna have pretty similar bans from round 1.
Those are the exact same bands, actually. They're just going to continue with what they've got. The first pick also remains the same. They're going to take that Ceruledge, really, really strong pick. And God Squad's going to keep up with the Charizard, so I believe that they also went with their Slowbro last time, so we'll have to see if they go with the same pick here. They're hovering Blissey. They could try to take that away from two Peruvians, but we will have to see. They actually do lock in the Mamoswine, so they're going to switch it up just a little bit. While two Peruvians is being unpunished for their previous team comp, they have the first 3 picks the exact same.
Oh yeah. I mean, I wouldn't change a dang thing, right? If God Squad's gonna let you have it, I wouldn't change a thing. It worked so incredibly well. You saw the type of value that Umbreon was able to get, just keeping God Squad from being able to enter any of the fights. And we're gonna have the Pies go ahead and grab that Gardevoir once again. We'll see. I think the only little difference here is instead of the Slowbro, they're opting for the Mammo.
Yeah, they want to run it back, but they think maybe the defender pick was the problem. Personally, I do not. I wouldn't go with that Gardevoir again, but there's a reason I'm not a professional player, because God Squad is going to run it back with everything except for the Mamoswine, replacing the Sluther brother, while two Peruvians is going to be running the exact same team composition, so maybe God Squad has a plan this time to approach the menace composition that the two Peruvians team is running. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, I if I saw this, Husky, if I saw this enemy team comp on two Peruvians, if I saw that in solo queue, I would probably be like shaking in my boots. I'd be crying.
Turn off my Switch and take the ban, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, we'll take the -10 fair play points at this point.
Yeah, I think that.
No, just kidding. Don't grief your solo queue teammates. It's hard
grief.
enough out there. It's hard enough out there.
Don't grief your solo queue games. That's coming out on the new album soon, so that's a little bit of a preview for you all.
Yeah, that's the new album dropping this summer. Huskyle for Worlds. Be ready for it. With hits like With Arms Wide Open.
Yeah, exactly.
Covered the Creed cover. We got lots of things.
Yeah, Cowabummer is the lead track on that album. That one's also gonna be Cookie Jar, one of Kyle's passion projects he's been working on. So yeah, I've got a verse on that one, but that's really one of Kyle's biggest songs. There is a game though that we have, and we are going to be starting it. Two Peruvians is up 1-0. We're going into our game number 2. God Squad's gonna have to at least score 1 point. I feel like that should be their goal.
I mean, you got to start somewhere. 1 point would definitely be the start. Maybe you throw somebody to stack just to get a little bit of momentum going. We do have a little bit of a contested farm up here with this Indeedee. We're going to see if this Mamoswine's going to be able to get it. Nope. Miraidon's able to take that one.
Yeah, of course they are, because why wouldn't they also have great secure in this early game? And again, we do see the Charmander trying to get online early, but they're up against Azachi, and it doesn't have to evolve, so it's already good early. Miraidon again steals that one away, and Ducky actually does push in a little bit too hard, and they go down. That's kind of big for God Squad. They need that early KO, try to prevent as much snowballing as possible.
Yeah. Top path, though, we have Mimikyu back up here once again with their buffs. Charmander and Gossifleur looking to maybe aim for these birds, maybe slow down two Peruvians from scaling. But they have 3 members here, 850 birds hitting the map. Charizard going to go ahead and throw a spin right on it. But a lot of that farm is cleared by 2 Peruvians in there, but they're not done. They're looking to aim for this goal, but Zacian's going to have to back up there because they were dangerously low.
This time, nobody going down in that first exchange, but the charge beam is out once again, and this Swinub getting pretty low right here, but they're gonna have to just back up. Here comes Ducky, and the Cerule Edge is there. Big Bitter Blade taking both of those members of the bottom path down. We're already off to a great start for 2 Peruvians, 63-0, and Cerule Edge is gonna keep stacking up.
Yeah, that KO is definitely pretty sweet from 2 Peruvians in a Dream. It's the Hyo show down in this bot path. 8-minute birds about to hit the map. Mimikyu here, Blissey also here, but it's just this Blissey for 2 Peruvians, so they might just try to grab maybe a little bit of a last hit with their eggs, but no. So here comes Hyo once again, out of nowhere from downtown with a big Phantom Force.
Where's this Charmander going? Charmander! It's a Charmeleon at least. Thank God it's not still a Charmander, but they will go down. Meanwhile, on this bottom path, we have the charge beams once again being an absolute menace to society. The eject button as well, trying to get onto the Swinub. They are still tanky enough not to go down. It's pretty dangerous for them, and it's not looking great for God Squad, even though they're not losing as hard as they were. It doesn't seem like, at least in levels. They are still, this Cerule Edge is still level 9 already.
Yeah, still level 9, and they're getting even more farm. Big Bird does go over to the Miraidon, and now you have a one-on-one on top, Charmeleon versus Zacian. We know that's probably going to go, but 4v4 in this bot path as Mimikyu's trying to enter the fray. Reggie is a bot, it is a Registeel, and we're going to see what Peruvians in a dream here do. Here comes the Revenant Ren, Ducky along with Hyo in the front lines doing some damage. Miraidon's gonna take the Registeel from the bot path, but holy cow, look at the cleanup here. Triple KO onto the Ceruledge, and there's nothing that can stop two Peruvians in a dream right now, Husky.
There's just nothing this Gardevoir can do against this team comp. They thought it was a defender problem and they switched it out, but I really don't think that's the case. As Gardevoir goes down once again, there's just no tanking. You can't really frontline against the Ceruledge with a Revenant Rend up. It's just not possible, and this Gardevoir is a level 7. They're not even close to getting their Unite move yet. They haven't even evolved to Gardevoir yet, and the Charizard continues to int in the enemy jungle. They try to get something out of it, steal some farm away, but God Squad is just not looking like the God Squad that they have been throughout this tournament so far.
Yeah. Definitely not Greek gods. It's not any type of gods right now, because it's the two Peruvians that are just crushing the souls of this team. They're not done. Here comes Zacian once again. Sacred Sword gonna go on here. The play with me from Mimikyu doesn't get the KO because there's so much healing from this Blissey. Ducky is gonna just try to continue the front line. Here comes another Revenant Ren, and 2 members are erased from God Squad. There's make it 3, and now this Mimikyu's next on the slicing block for the Ceruledge. Again, it's the Hyo show in this top half, but here comes Miraidon just trying to zoom on away like a little motorbike that it is. And look at this, another score going in, but this is the first score from God Squad, Husky.
20 points, let's go. The Charizard with the hero play, 20 points. God Squad will not be shut out for a second game, but they may as well be right now. The Fairy Singularity, though, does come down to the Ceruledge. They might be able to pick them up, and they do finally get that KO. They pick up the Blissey as well. This could be where God Squad starts to come back, but so far, the only big pickup that they've been able to get is this Ceruledge. So they will grab the Regieleki, but we'll have to see if they're able to do anything with it.
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to. I mean, Zacian's just gonna just slice that down, but yeah, they don't get any points, so they do get the objective, but I'm not sure, Husky. I don't know if they're gonna get any value. Very unfortunate. Some more farm on the map. We do have a little bit of a fight over these 8-minute birds. 2 Peruvians in a dream. Once again, just gonna clear those out. More XP going over to their side.
Yeah, I mean, I think, honestly, the Charizard's kind of playing a smart game. They're just kind of, they know that they're very behind, and they know that they have to try to get value somewhere, so if they have to split the team, they're just going to let the Charizard off lane. And I kind of like it. I feel like that's a decent strategy. Let them do what they've got to do. They are level 11, and they do have a Unite move, so they could potentially make a push into this bottom path. They do pick up the Ceruledge really quickly.
Yeah, Gardevoir used the Fairy Singularity. They're looking to get some value here. Another play with me. This time gonna go on to the Zacian once again. They're going dangerously low, and Miraidon's just trying to hold on to this pad for dear life. No points still going in. But here we go. Some points finally going in. This might be the turning point that God Squad needs. They might even go ahead and break this goal, Husky. But here comes another Revenant Ren's gonna slice down the Gardevoir once again. But huge win. But we're nearing kind of this end point in the game as Hyo gets another triple KO, but they go down, they pay for it. We're gonna go ahead, and I'm not going to grief any longer. We got Ribbon on the desk. Ribbon, talk to us about what you're seeing.
This match is a little bit closer than intended. I feel like God Squad is putting up great fights. They're just getting out-microed in the moments by Hyo and 2 Peruvians. If they can get some lockdown on members before that Bliss Assistance gets off like they did in the top side and get some shutdown experience off of Hyo, that will be the key that God Squad is looking for.
Ribbon's absolutely right, I feel, yeah. They have some good moments. Look at them right now. They're moving it onto this Regieleki, but we'll have to see who's able to get it. I feel like that's kind of a throw from 2 Peruvians to even rip that, because all 5 members of God Squad were there. They're going to take it, but it's not really going to do anything for them. Once again, it's just going to kind of walk into nothing, as they're just going to opt to go ahead and position. for this Rayquaza.
Yeah, but look at God Squad. They're lining up for a potential flip moment. This might be their opportunity, but they are going to just try to suss out exactly where two Peruvians is looking to enter in this fight. Mamoswine just trying to hold on to the edge, not getting caught, but they go ahead. There's an Earthquake. It's Titanic. We're going to see what these teams want to do. Gardevoir might be getting caught out here. Here comes the Moonlight Prance from Umbreon, steals the shield, but stealing the show is this Gardevoir that just pushes it back. Another engage here on this left side of the pit. Here comes the Eldegoss caught in Cloud Crash, but it's too late. Two members down for God Squad. Here comes Charizard with the Seismic Slam as Zacian picks up a double KO.
Zacian able to get out, but Cerulege was not. They did go down without using the Revenant Rend. If it's gonna be God Squad's moment, now is the time. But Zacian not looking to give them any opportunity. The big Charge Beam takes down the Charizard. That might just be it for God Squad. I feel like Charizard's their only opportunity right there. The Zacian using their eject button right onto the Gardevoir. Once again, there's no tanking that Mamo can do that's going to be enough to protect this Gardevoir.
Yeah, God Squad just walking in one by one to their funeral homes. Another KO for Hyo onto that Eldegoss. Here comes some points in from Blissey. This might be too much to handle. Two Peruvians in a dream. It's the Hyo show once again. And they're going to go ahead and they may even just decide not to rip this Ray. They don't have to. They just have to get continuous KOs on God Squad. And that's exactly what they're doing in this fight.
The Cerulege also positioned up into this top path just in case God Squad tries to go for a score. It wouldn't even matter regardless, but the Mamoswine now getting caught out, and these charge beams are unrelenting. Even though it's the Hyo show, they're being backed up by the backup dancer that is Miraidon with a double KO. They pick up the Gardevoir and the Mamo. The Charizard does get a Unite move out, but with a triple from the Miraidon, it's not going to be enough. Peruvians is gonna take this one. Peruvian God in a dream or something that was happening.
Yes.
They are gonna take this one. They take the Ray for good measure, and that is gonna be it. God Squad is gonna be moving down into our losers bracket.
Wow. That was an amazing team. God Squad is a squad. And we just saw what two Peruvians in a dream just dismantle them piece by piece in that team fight. It was just a masterclass of not only their draft, but also that Ray fight, the macro there, knowing that they didn't have to have the Rayquaza. They went for some scores to give themselves a little bit more of a cushion. But I mean, look at this. I want to talk about this. 97k damage from this Miraidon. But the thing to me, Husky, that's more impressive is the number right next to it. Only 18k taken.
Yeah, that just shows how much that dive that God Squad tried to do with the Mimikyu was not effective, because their backline was still able to do everything the backline wanted to do. Nothing happened to Breezy the entire time. Nothing touched Breezy. They had a light wind blowed upon them, and that was it. The entire match. That just shows how strong that front line was.
Yeah, it was easy, breezy, beautiful cover girl. Two Peruvians in a dream on top. I mean, yeah, just a masterclass from them. And they're going on to the winners finals now without losing a map, right? I mean, not a single map has been lost by this team. And they've looked good all day long. We've seen them a couple of times at this point. I imagine we're going to see them a little bit more. Obviously, we'll get them in the winners finals next. But I mean, if they continue that up, we're going to see them in the grand finals. I'm so excited for what this next match has in store for us.
Yeah, me too. I mean, two Peruvians is going to be the first into our winners finals, right? Winners finals. That is correct. Yeah. I can read. Still. So they're going to be the first team that we have in our winners finals. And there are a lot of really good teams still down in our losers bracket, which we have to get through before we can do anything else. Because right now we still have Revenant, Last Succumb, Extra Fries, and Buff Night Slash fighting it out in the losers bracket. We'll have to see what happens with them in our next couple matches. Yeah, that one was crazy. God Squad getting taken out right there is wild. They will have a chance to come back, but that is a rough loss for them.
Yeah, I just have to shout out. It's spelled Peruvians in a dream, so we messed it up the entire time.
Yeah.
No, I mean not really. I think there was a little bit of but I assume it based on previous tournaments. It was 2 Peruvians, but yeah, a little bit of a misspell. We'll get that corrected. We just copied it from Start GG, so I don't know.
That's not our fault, Ducky.
It
That's
might-
not on us.
Because me and Anysus are from Peru. Yeah, I feel you. We love it.
We
love it.
figured
Alrighty,
that's what
folks.
it was. Yeah, that's what we've been
We
saying. We figured that's
figured.
what it was. Yeah.
we were just reading some minds. Yeah. But hold on, chat. We are going to be getting into the next games. We're going to take a quick little break while we get the next team set up. We are going to be getting the winners finals, but once we have a winner of that AD match between Hotspot and Public Enemies, we will be getting into the winners finals. So don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back after this.